Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Entrepreneur Middle East. We're here at SEF today in Sharjah, and with me is a very special guest. Is the one and only Sebastian Vettel, and we'll be doing a quick conversation today about his life after F1 and in retirement. What a pleasure having you here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
How's everything? How's Sharjah treating you?
Exciting so far. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to see so many different ideas and also seeing the kids
Of course.
section and
That was cute.
having them join and having them pitch as well their ideas. So it's great.
Cute, cute. So, I mean, obviously, I don't have to say it. Times 4, F1, world champion. When you wake up in the morning, is it something that still sticks in and you're still kind of like thinking about it every time you look at yourself in the mirror, or it just kind of like sunk in and you're used to it now?
Has sunk in, and it's I wouldn't say I forgot, of course not, but it's
Right.
obviously been a while ago. And I think generally when you grow up in the environment of racing and you go race by race, and you always look forward to the next, which I think is also true in
life.
entrepreneurship or in life, in business, and life in general. You always wake up to the next day and look forward to what's ahead. I often had the question, has this and this race been the best, or what has been your best race? And I'm
It's
not very
hard.
good in answering that question. Obviously, it's great that I have the privilege to pick from so many, but then at some point I came up with the answer that the best one is still to come, and I still sort of has become my mantra, that there's the best day or the best race is still to come. Looking forward, because otherwise,
Of course.
what do you look forward to if you always look back? Sort of.
Of course. And I feel like, it's our life is divided into chapters in a way, right? And one chapter ends and another one begins. But
Absolutely.
was it hard for you to find another purpose?
Yes and no. I think obviously, racing has been my life for all I can remember since childhood, and with that came structure and all the things that I knew how to do and what to do. Of course, when I stopped, then I wanted to experience or feel that side of me and discover that side of me, to find what is coming next. And I think I'm still in the exploration phase, but obviously have found a lot of purpose in the projects that I'm doing. Having more time to be honest at home with, and being able to spend that with my children,
Of course.
which I think is also a limited phase in your life where you're able to do that. So
And a lot of
things
fathers don't.
exactly, a lot of fathers don't. And then I've met so many people and they told me, I wish I had more time with my kids and so on. So I feel, I wanted to try, and it has definitely paid off in terms of the relationship that I have
Of
with my
course.
kids and the time,
'Cause-
the things that we're able to do and enjoy.
100%, because I did read that, you've kind of like cut off your career, and it obviously makes sense when you say family comes first and it's important, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was harder when the kids grew up and they said, "Why do you have to leave?" I obviously
You're not going to go to the races anymore.
yeah, the job includes a lot of traveling and a lot of time spent away.
Yeah.
So but I also felt that I was ready to do other things and wanted to explore and wanted to have more time. So if the environment of Formula One has taught me anything, then it's to be curious, ask a lot of questions, which I'm still doing today, and not shy of asking questions to people to learn and explore, like I said.
And I mean, I really feel like one of the most important words as well in F1 that you have to deal with as a challenge is pressure, right? Both mental pressure and physical pressure that you're feeling as well in the car. So how would you say, as a professional sports person, how do you deal with pressure? Was the mental pressure harder? Was the physical pressure something that was harder for you?
I think the
How would you
physical side is sort of easier to prepare for, because you know what is coming and you have to put the work in, otherwise it will be difficult.
Okay.
So you want to master that challenge, and by preparing and putting the hours and the efforts in.
And the exercises you guys do, especially for muscles here, it looks brutal.
But some of the specific exercise, but you have to put the work in full stop. But you know what you're preparing for. With the mental side of things, I think it's very unique. I think there's no one recipe that works for all. I think everybody is different. Everybody performs different. Everybody needs a different environment to perform. But if you talk about pressure and how you deal with nervousness or the expectations, I think you need to yeah, be open-minded, asking yourself, why you experience the feeling of nervousness now and you
Mm-hmm.
didn't a day before, for example. What's bad about it when it, is taking over?
Mm-hmm.
How you maybe learn to control it,
Mm-hmm.
or often people say, "I wish I wasn't nervous," but actually, nervousness is good. You need that because it also means you're ready, you're excited, and you can use that and channel that in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where what I meant in terms of it's very individual. But
Got
I
it.
think don't be shy in asking yourself why you are feeling like that and
Right.
what you might be lacking right now.
Mm-hmm.
The environment around you, what makes you feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
trying to establish more of what makes you feel comfortable and
Right.
at peace to then be able to perform and maybe eliminate the things that are less good
Of course.
or challenge them. So that's where, I think the recipe is not just one thing that works for all,
Of course.
and it's more individual.
Of course. Was there any, similarities that you've seen now with your life and entrepreneurship and everything that connected to racing in a way? And you said, okay, these are similar feelings, these are similar thoughts.
Absolutely. I think sports has the ability to present you all of the challenges, but in a compact and sort of compressed
Yeah,
way.
literally.
Yeah, yeah, literally. But to experience this, to experience the challenges, working with people, how to get the most out of people,
Mhm.
how to get the most out of yourself, staying hungry, getting the motivation, channeling the motivation. So there's a lot of things that I think, young entrepreneurs or people in business or people in life generally face as well.
Of course.
Sport has just the ability to compress it and make you experience all of it in a very short
Especially because it's usually a decade, more or less, of like extremely professional, right? High
and then
peak.
even within a season you have the highs and lows. You
Of
have to
course.
move on, you have to move forward. There's a lot of things that go against you, and don't go your way, even though from the outside it might look like, oh, everything's happening at ease. It's never like that. There's a lot of obstacles in your way, a lot of challenges that people don't see, but you have to deal with. I think
Yeah.
it's a great school
Of
for
course.
what comes after.
Of course. But do you remember, one of those very difficult, challenging times in your life? Could you share with us a story where really like you were
Yeah, I
feeling
think
low?
dealing with disappointment is a big one. So
It's hard.
it is hard, and especially if it's everything you believe and then it gets crushed or it doesn't happen. It does also take some time. So I think remaining patient and even you are confronted with the fact that it didn't work and you really wanted it to work.
Mm-hmm.
But then ultimately trying to stand up again or get
Right.
out of that ditch or hole. I think one recipe that has helped me is you're never as good as they say, but you're also never as bad as they say. So what I mean by that is
There's immediate pressure.
if it's going bad, then don't make it worse by digging yourself even lower. And you have the courage to try again. I think failure is, in sports, it's inevitable. I mean, there's so many races that maybe I've won and laps that I've been the fastest, but there's a lot more races I didn't win and tons of laps where I was not the fastest and others were faster. So I think if you put that in perspective, then you're failing most of the time and succeeding
Right.
only a few times.
Was for winning finals, enough for you?
Well, my dream was always one. Then naturally because you go again and there's the next race. It's
Grows.
a bit of a bit of a shame because you don't enjoy the moment so much because the next race is coming and you're so focused on the next
Training
one
for the
and
next
doing it again. Um, and it's what you're working towards. But then, later in my career, I realized, I had the privilege of so many races and, working with very gifted people mostly.
Mhm.
For sure, the trophies and the championships is one thing and is what people
See.
rate and see and rate as success. But, I think later on you sort of redefine what success means. And I think I've not left any burning bridges. I've made a lot of friends. I had great experiences with people that I'm sharing, and it's those sort of stories that really make who you are,
100%.
rather than what you did and what you achieved in a certain moment.
And what does success mean to you? How would you define
Well,
it?
it has changed. Obviously, when I was young, it was all about trophies because I wanted to get the biggest trophy and I wanted to be the best.
Okay.
Later on, I think in my career, you put things a bit more in perspective, and I think now a successful person to me is somebody who is at peace with himself or herself. Is
Content.
treating people with respect,
Mhm.
and in a happy place in terms of doing something that fulfills him or
Mhm.
her, and where you feel okay, that's what he or she is driving for, and that's the purpose he or she is going after.
Of
So I
course.
think it doesn't get awarded
Right.
often, not as much as in here's your trophy, you won the first prize, or here's a check and you've made so and so much money. That those are the things that society seems to see more as success.
So success doesn't equal money.
It's not. No,
It doesn't equal
no,
money.
I don't think so. And obviously, I can speak from a professional point of view in terms of having won a couple of trophies. That it's the thing that they stay with you in terms of they stay around your house wherever you decide to put them. But at some point, you walk past them, and I don't want to say you don't realize anymore, but life is about so many more things.
Of course.
And it's looking back, the journey has been what I really keep rather than
Of course.
the trophy. For sure, if you have at the end the privilege to have the trophy in your hand as well, it's a great feeling, especially in sports, to live through that with the entire team and as an athlete. But yeah, there's so much more to it.
Of course. And I mean, I did see on your Instagram that you wrote what's your next big race, right?
There's still a race to come.
Exactly. What is the next race for you?
Well, I mean, the things that I do now, the projects that I have and the ideas is really to try and raise awareness around the topic of, where the shape of our planet, the climate crisis. But it's, I don't want to point fingers and tell people what to do, because I'm convinced it's not going to get us where we need to get, but rather inspire people. Because once I think you become aware of, certain things that are going on, then you start to ask these questions yourself, and then usually what happens then is people take off, asking their own questions and
Right.
finding their answers. So
Of course.
I think if I can just help here and there to maybe initiate the process, that's very pleasing to me and very fulfilling.
Beautiful. If you could give us one last, intake onto advice, what advice would you give to the younger generations? For the generations to come, what would you tell them if you could?
Well, I think first of all, find something in your younger years that really drives you, that no matter what it is, and if people, I don't know, if it's not as accepted as other things or not as popular, it doesn't matter, because ultimately whatever it is that you pick, that's really you. I think you have the highest chance of succeeding in terms of one thing being successful, but really, reaching a state where you're really fulfilled and happy with it.
Right.
And then through that, usually you meet tons of people that think alike or help you to redefine your idea, your path.
You meet the right people on the way.
So the second thing I would say is to stay patient, because time, there's always tomorrow, and there's always the next chance.
It's hard to be patient, though.
It is. Be prepared to fail, because most of the days it will not work the way you planned it to. But eventually, if you stay at it and if you really enjoy what you do, that's where what I mean by pick something you really that's really you. I think it will lead you on a good path.
Beautiful. Before we finish, what's one word to describe your journey with Ferrari? How would you describe it in one word?
Passionate. I think I met a lot of passionate people.
Really?
I was very passionate.
And with Red Bull?
We weren't as successful as we set out to be.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
Still, I think it was a great.
And for Red Bull, what would be the word?
Hungry. I think both myself and the team were very, very hungry and ambitious.
Aggressive. Beautiful. Sebastian, I'm going to remember this interview. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. You're such a wonderful and humble person, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.